Hey guys, so welcome to the second part of the SPSS output interpretation. Now, in the first video, we saw about how to arrive at the regression model, and we sort of found out that the average hourly rate has a positive and strong impact on the price of Big Mac. The correlation coefficient came out to be 0.717, and that variation explains about 51.5 percentage, and the remaining 48.6 percentage is unexplained. I mean, those were the variables which contribute for about 48.6 percentage were unexplained, and they were not considered during that analysis. Now in this video we'll be talking about the validation of the model, whether the model that we arrived is a good model. Also we have to validate whether the impact of whether there is an impact of the average hourly rate on the Big Mac price. So the validation is done in three parts here. First, we'll be validating using the ANOVA table from the output, and which gives an validation of the overall model, whether it's a good regression model that we arrived at or if it isn't. And the second validation will be on the impact of the independent variable on the dependent variable. So this will be done using the coefficient table of the output. And then the third one is to validate the assumptions that we have taken for the residuals, and basically the assumptions that was responsible for us, were the assumptions that were the reasons for us to do validation of this kind. So these are the three assumptions that we are validating: whether the residual follows a normal distribution, which we validate using the histogram and the p-plot, and then the other assumption is the residual should be random and independent, and also we validate for the homoscedasticity. Both of the validations B and C are done using the scatter plot. Now let's go to the output in itself. So the first validation, which is the validation using the ANOVA table, and we have our ANOVA table here, so we'll be using this. Now, as I said earlier during the first video, we in this test, since it's an output from the SPSS, we validate the values based on the P, the probability, and the probability that we get here is 0.000 again. And as I said earlier, the default value for SPSS is 0.05, which means this probability, the test probability, is less than the alpha value. So we'll be rejecting our null hypothesis. So these are the hypotheses that we take for the ANOVA table. The null hypothesis would be the regression model that we arrived is not a good regression model. In the alternate hypothesis, it is a good regression model. Now, since the value of P here is less than alpha, we reject the null hypothesis. So which the conclusion that we get here is that the regression model that we have arrived at is a good regression model. And now let's go to the validation of the coefficient table for the independent variables. So we come back here. Now here for this validation, you will be taking at this value for validation. Again, we see that here the value of P is less than alpha. So again, we reject the null hypothesis, and these are the hypotheses for the coefficient table validation, which is the independent variable has no impact, and H1 will be the independent variable, which is the average hourly wage here, has an impact on the Big Mac price. Now P is less than alpha, we reject the null hypothesis, so the alternate hypothesis is accepted, and we conclude that the hourly wage rate has an impact on the Big Mac price. Now coming to the last part, the third one of the validation, which I said earlier, where we'll be validating the assumptions. So we validate on three parts. First, we'll check whether it's a normal distribution, and then we confirm whether it's a random and independent, and then we test for the equal variance of the distribution of the residuals. So we see that using both these plots, the first one, we see that it's clearly a normal distribution based on the histogram. And also in this P plot, if you notice that most of the values of the residual are very close to the straight line, and it forms a straight line in itself. Even if it is distributed like this, and if this residuals plot and a whole give a straight line, we can still validate that it's a normal distribution. Now in this case, it's very close and it forms a straight line. So both these conclude that the residual is normally distributed. So that part of the validation is done. Now coming to the B and C, where we validate the independent and randomness of these residuals, and also we validate the equal variance part. Now, if you look at the scatter plot for test for independence and randomness, we see that these patterns of the residual does not form a particular pattern, right? It's not like a straight line, or it's not like a bell curve or any sort of curve. It's completely random. So we can validate that the residuals is random and independent of each other. So B validation is done. Now part C of the validation, which is the test for homoscedasticity. Now, if you notice that all the variances mostly fall between the values of 2 and minus 2. Maybe this might be outside the range of minus 2. In that case, it can be considered as an outlier, but predominant values of the residuals falls within this range. So if it forms a horizontal band like that, we can validate that the distribution is sorry, the residuals are have a equal variance. In case if it forms a pattern like funneling out, or for example funneling in, then we can conclude that it's not equal variance, but here the distribution falls within a horizontal band, so we can conclude that it's an equal variance of the residuals. So yeah, this is the validation part. Now when they ask the question in the examination, so we'll be writing it in two parts. The first will be the regression model, where we'll sort of find the four parts, which is where you'll find the coefficient correlation R, and then we validate for R square and try to explain how much percentage is because of the explained variation and how much is because of the unexplained variation. And also we check for adjusted R square, and then in order to validate whether the impact of the independent variable on the dependent variable can be concluded for the whole population. And then also we validate upon the coefficient table, where we get the values of b naught, beta naught and beta 1, and we arrive at the regression model. And this part you will validate all the conclusions that we made in the first part using hypothesis testing. So yeah, this is how you have to answer. We hope that it might come under as a compulsory question, because she has to ask questions on each topic anyways, and this was a session which she took an extra class also. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.